Come on, Snotty.
Bro.
Say, this is Dante. This is Snotty. All right, come on, baby. Let's get it going.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. Took the whole team to the promised land. Rest in peace to my father, man. Wish you could have seen the plan.
What's going on, everybody? You know who we are. This is the Two Man Game Podcast. I'm your host, Dante. You know who this is. This is KC. We got a good show for you guys today, man. We're talking, Warriors Suns. We get into the Knicks and Nets, that game. Talk a little bit about Kemba and his situation. We don't know what's going on right now. We don't know if they're going to trade him, but it's weird. LeBron, 10 days with COVID. COVID's running rampant in America, and it's going to affect stuff like that. So we're going to talk a little bit about the standings, what we like, what we don't like, surprises, disappointments, and then you know us, we're going to do our top 5. So let's get it started, man. So Casey, start us up. What you think about that Warriors game, man?
I thought it was good basketball for the most part. There's a lot of turnovers both sides. So it was a little sloppy. Seeing Devin Booker get hurt, that kind of that hurt me a little bit. I just want to see the best people out there. So overall, I think it was a good game. The Suns looked like the better team. Steph Curry didn't really play very well. That was his worst game of the year. Jordan Poole, that was dope to see him kind of take over for that first quarter. He went crazy for like 16 in the first quarter. But the Suns looked like the better team yesterday. Draymond Green and Steph Curry, that was like one of the worst games I've seen in a while from them. Just like silly turnovers and stuff, like just way too many silly turnovers in my opinion.
Yeah.
And but the Suns, I give them credit. Steph Curry didn't play well. They had a good game plan for it. Michael Bridges played great. CP3 did what CP3 does, and DeAndre Ayton was a stud out there too. So that's my initial thoughts.
Yeah, same thing, man. Yeah, Curry. I feel like he was a couple shots away from y'all winning that game. The Warriors winning that game.
Yeah.
You know what he could do. 4 for 21. That we'll never see that again.
Yeah.
We'll never see that again. And they said that's his worst game when taking 20 shots, like efficiency wise, worst game, which is unheard of for Steph. You know what he does. And then they didn't score 100 points, so shout out to Phoenix's defense.
Yeah.
And the guys that they have. I love what they bring to the table. I'm concerned with D-Book. Those hamstrings can get the best of you.
Yeah, I saw a report. They said it shouldn't be nothing too crazy.
Okay,
just
that's good.
Like a week to 2 weeks. Those are just like those nagging injuries. So like you could kind of, they're not going to rush him back, especially it's so early in the season.
Right.
It was a good win for them for sure.
Yeah.
Like the Warriors, like a lot of people are talking about the Warriors right now, and the Suns were on a 16 game winning streak, and we didn't really hear much about them besides they continue to win. But we've been hearing a lot about Steph Curry and the Warriors, Clay coming back. So I'm sure Phoenix heard the noise before and wanted to prove a point to them. And to their credit, they did. They played a good game for sure.
Yeah, they definitely, man, perfect group of role players, man. It meshes so well, with around Chris Paul and CP. Chris Paul and D-Book.
Yeah. No, I mean, I love who they have. Crowder is one of my favorite role players in the league. Just one of those guys you love to play with, hate to play against. Bridges is coming into his own, and Ayton just seems like he's getting better every game. And then they got Cam Johnson, Shamet, Campaign. They got some guys good. JaVale McGee, who he's good in his own form. So let's just say this: they went to the Western Conference Finals last year, so they're definitely the truth. And the good thing about this is we don't have to wait to see them play again. They'll be playing Friday.
Yeah, they play Friday. Yeah.
It obviously D-Book won't be playing, but overall we'll see them battle again. It's always fun seeing Chris Paul and Steph Curry go against each other. Two elite point guards, guys who just one of the top players at their position. So they definitely know how to play the game right, and I'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges both shooting 39% from three.
Yeah,
So
I mean those dudes could shoot the shit out of the ball for sure.
That should tell you everything right there.
They bring good defense. They know like they're not gonna. The offense is ran through CP and D-Book, and Ayton's gonna get his touches, and then the other guys kind of just gotta try to fit in and play good defense, get open. Chris Paul's gonna find you when that's the case. So
Ayton missed a bunch of bunnies yesterday. I didn't like that.
Yeah, he did. I was all right with it. I was.
Of course you were.
Yeah. Well, my heart was going for the Warriors, and my money was on the Warriors. So, definitely, I was not hyped on it, but it was good basketball. It was cool to watch. But yeah, I definitely went to sleep pretty salty last night. But it's all right. It's all right. We move on.
Yeah.
So the game before that, though, it was a good game. The Battle of the Boroughs, New York and Brooklyn. What were your initial thoughts on the game? It was a tight game up until the end. So
very good physical game. Obviously, you're going to get that with the Knicks and Tom Thibodeau, that grinded out sort of game. But I love the way James Harden played in the beginning. He came out 15 points in the first quarter.
28 in the first half.
Right. Looked like James Harden of old.
Yeah.
So, and he just looked he looked quicker. Like he was getting to his spots quick. That quick one dribble step back he does when he got the big switching on him. So when he's doing that,
he's tough to go
right
for sure.
Right, and that's what the Nets were missing the first 18 19 games, because he's been playing well the past he's still averaging 20 and 10, but
not his like normal self.
You can just tell it's not normal James Harden.
With that game last night, though, definitely he looked good. I haven't seen him like really go crazy like that in the sense of having a big half or just a big scoring game. You guys had too many of those, like we're used to at least. And maybe for this team, he's not asked to go get 30 and 10, more like 25 maybe. But it was a hell of a game though. I feel like every time I watch Kevin Durant, he has a couple shots where I'm like, bro, how do you guard that?
Like only him. Yeah. It's certain shots you just like only him.
And my favorite thing is when he misses, most of the time I'm thinking, okay, that was solid defense, but he missed it. You didn't really make him miss it.
Right.
He missed it.
Right.
At least, so
it's only a select few times where you're like, okay, that's good defense.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Like you said, most of the time he missed. You just chalk it up as him missing.
Yeah. And then on the other side, the Knicks, I thought they were about to get blown out after halftime. I was like, oh, like here it comes. They haven't been playing great basketball as of recently. So I wasn't I was expecting a blowout, and then Julius Randle was doing his thing. Alec Burks quickly got in, top in. Like they started doing their thing. So came down to the buzzer. James Johnson free throws.
Yeah, James Johnson free throws. Who would have thought?
So shout out to James Johnson, but it was a good game. I was hyped.
Yeah, KD. I mean, he had 11 in the last 5:45. So, I think the Knicks sort of made the right decision getting out of his hands, but I mean,
it's tough to play 4-on-3 though.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. You get down there and free throws to win the game.
You're just hoping you're just at that point like 4-on-3. Damn near just hoping someone misses at that point.
Yeah, I hope he missed.
You're probably going to get a good look that you like. So it was definitely interesting ending to the game. I don't know if I would have done that, but maybe a little later. But I'm not an NBA coach, so I can't really.
on a side note, James Harden became the fourth player to reach 2,500 threes.
But I don't think that really tells the whole tale of the story.
Yeah, nah,
Because
just a side note. Just a side note.
yeah, would no, well, like that's super sick, but
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't consider like James Harden like a top 5 shooter of all time or nothing like that.
No, I mean his are based on volume. You know how it
Yeah,
used to be. It's based
yeah.
on volume, but I mean he can shoot. He can shoot the
No,
shot.
but it's still like an impressive thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
you're up there with Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, and Steph Curry.
Yeah,
That's
Steph, yeah.
great company to be in.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to James Harden.
Yeah,
That's
shout out
dope.
to him.
I probably sound like a little bit of a hater.
Shout out to him. Shout out to him.
But on the Knicks side, this past week, Tom Thibodeau came out and said Kemba Walker is no longer in the rotation.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning of the year, everyone thought that was kind of not the piece that they were missing to get him over the hump, but in the playoffs, they struggled with offense.
Mm-hmm.
And D Rose, at the end of the day, was their best player. I don't think an older D Rose, you want to be your best player in the playoffs. I don't think you want him to be your best player if you're trying to win a championship.
Mm-hmm.
I like what D Rose brings to the table. He's a great 6-man. He's been killing it all, these last couple of years with the Knicks. But we thought Kemba Walker was going to come in and give some offensive production.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been like that. So right now, he averages 11, 2.6 rebounds, and 3 assists. And right now, I'm not a big plus-minus guy, but they've been outscored. They're outscored by 122 while he's been on the court.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big problem.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I mean, with Kemba, it's funny because the last night's game against the Nets, they also have a guy who's been out of the rotation, and that's Blake Griffin. So I mean, these guys like they're getting older. Kemba's, he's a 4-time All-Star. He knows how to play ball, but he's just not getting it done. He's a liability on defense at this point in his career.
Yeah.
He was never a really great defender, and then after knee surgeries and stuff like that, it's not gonna get better. And you're already little on top of that. So
I was just about to say that.
Yeah,
that small guard, injuries,
yeah,
that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, so I mean, Thibodeau, I guess he sees like we're not gonna probably win with this guy. So hopefully he can get in the right situation. I mean, he's making $9 million a year, so that shouldn't be too hard to trade for him.
Yeah.
He's on a 2-year, $18 million contract. So I mean, $9 million a year shouldn't be too crazy. They talking about John Wall, but the money don't match up. You're gonna have to give up somebody else.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's really. You're bringing in another non-shooter, kind of. The spacing's like kind of already iffy. I don't know if a non-shooter is going to do it for you at this point. But
I think the Knicks do need another playmaker at the point guard position.
Oh no, for sure. But you want that guy to be able to shoot. I feel like just to space the floor, give Randall some space. RJ Barrett needs room to attack.
Yeah.
Fournier he could shoot the ball, but for the most part, that's what I think would be good for them.
Yeah, the makeup of their team, they need a shooting, like you said, a shooting playmaking point guard.
Yeah.
And I think Kemba can get it done, but he's just not playing well.
The Lakers, they're gonna have to pick it up with LeBron being out.
Yeah.
For about 10 days, more or less. Well, probably a little bit more. He's gonna have to get back into some shape depending on how his health is. But the Lakers, they haven't been so hot lately. And with LeBron not being there, it's definitely going to be a challenge for them. But like Russell Westbrook, he's been balling out. He gets a lot of heat a lot of the time, like on Twitter and stuff like that. But right now he's averaging 22, 7, and 8. And he's shooting 31% from 3, which is, I think you'll take that for Russell Westbrook. And he's shooting 47% from the field. So he's playing pretty good basketball, being I don't know if you'd say the third star, but definitely they all, it's been a revolving door on people being in and out of the lineup for them. But
on paper, he's the third option.
But he's been playing good basketball besides from like the silly turnovers and stuff like that. I like what he's been doing.
Yeah.
I like to hate on Russ every once in a while, but
yeah, everybody take their punches at Russ, take their shots at him.
Just when he does like silly stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
some turnovers, you're too good. You're too good.
Yeah.
You've been in the league for so long. Like,
yeah, you've been in the league too long to be doing dumb stuff.
Yeah, but
Like,
he has the ball in his hands so much. You're bound to make silly turnovers.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It happens.
I'm not knocking anybody for turnovers. It's just how they are. Like how like Westbrook will jump pass or something like that, throw it in the backcourt. We've seen that plenty of times. Like, come on, you know better than that. Stuff like that is just where you like, come on,
like,
bro.
come on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I definitely feel you on that.
Mm-hmm.
And for so LeBron probably about to miss like 5 or 6 games. So their next 5 opponents, I would say they're all winnable games. I'll read them out for you. So they're playing the Clippers in Boston, in LA, and then they go on the road. They play at Memphis, at OKC, and at the Magic. So I would say those are all winnable games for them. The Clippers will be a tough one. The Celtics, you don't know what you're going to get from the Celtics right now. So that could really go either way. But a banged up Grizzlies team, you should be able to beat them. And I don't know if they'll beat OKC. The way OKC been playing them.
The way they're going, they did 96 Bulls against the Lakers this year.
Yeah, and then the Magic, they should be able to beat them, but sometimes you play down to your competition. They're NBA players, so I wouldn't say they should. Well, there's no you should.
Yeah,
they gotta come out and
you gotta come out and ball, man.
So what are your expectations these next couple games for the Lakers?
AD's been playing well, 24-10 this year, but when you're in that position, when you're considered by many to be a top 5 player or talent in the league, you got to make your presence felt. It can't be a quiet 24. It got to be a dominating 24 to 30 and 10. You know, that's what it's got to be. And if he doesn't like that, I don't know what it is, So he's got to accept that role. He's got to accept that role. I don't like the fact that LeBron is the best player on this team right now.
Yeah.
At turning 37 in December, he shouldn't be on your team.
Yeah.
It should be AD. So
for sure.
Right. So right now,
I mean that's what you're hoping when you're like, okay, LeBron's getting a little older, AD can step in, be that number one option. LeBron can take a step back, still do his thing, but just AD, like this for you. I like AD. I love what he brings to the table. I just don't like how he just settles too much for jumpers, especially like I like to see if a big man has a small enough, they're gonna get punished for that. Like DeAndre Ayton last night against the Warriors, when he had a little on him, most of the time he was punishing them, or Chris Paul would find the matchup, punish them down low,
keep the ball high and go up.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't really see that from AD too much. You see him; he'll get in the mid post and give you a couple fakes, and usually do like a floater or a fadeaway jumper. Usually falling on the ground, which I don't understand all the time.
What I don't like about AD is sometimes he's a ball stopper when he gets in the post. Now I understand you're getting doubled, so you got to look to see where that double's coming from, and that's most of the time what he's doing.
Yeah.
But before that double gets there, you're Anthony Davis. Like one move and go. Just go. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get fouled or you're going to score the rock. You just go. You know what I mean? Be that dominant big man. You're 6'11". Yeah. And you can tell he's picking up weight too. So he's heavier than he's ever been. Yeah. So go at him.
Yeah. Sometimes accepting that double team is a good thing though, because you'll be able to get most of the time a good 3. You would think if you're playing decent basketball, you should be able to take advantage of any double team. So I think he just needs to pick and choose when to go at that, in the mid post attack or find someone open. But it'll be interesting to see. I'd like to see him take over that like this is my team.
Yeah.
Obviously, LeBron's on the team, but I want to be that main guy doing my thing. And the role players we'll see what they do. Malik Monk, Melo, they've been playing pretty solid basketball.
They've been balling. They need to sit DJ. That's what they need. I don't think DJ needs to see the floor at all this season. To be honest with you.
I've been seeing that a lot.
Yeah. He doesn't need to be on the floor.
I mean, Lakers sitting at 7 right now in the standings. Or no, I'm sorry, they're sitting at 8. I'm sorry, 8.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still early. The West, the bottom, like the 4 through what is this? About 8, 9, 10. They're all interchangeable, and it's still early in the year. So if they could get a little streak going, I think they'll be all right. But we'll see. These next couple like next 3 weeks or so will be, I think, pretty big. Not just for standings wise. They're an experienced team, so I don't think they're too worried about like home court and stuff like that. But you would like to be a higher seed, so you have home court.
Yeah, you want home court in the playoffs.
All right, so staying in the standings talk, I'm gonna read these out to you, and we'll get into the surprise, what we dislike, like, and whatnot. So I'll start with the East. So we got the Nets right now, number 1, and the Bulls, Heat, Wizards, Bucks. The Heat, Wizards, and Bucks, they all got identical records, so that could all be flip-flopped. At number 6, we have the Hornets, 7, the Knicks, 8, Cavs, 9, Sixers, 10 Hawks, and the Celtics are right behind them too. And then in the West, we got the Suns at number 1, the Warriors at 2, Jazz, Dallas, Grizzlies, Clippers, T-Wolves, Lakers, Blazers, Nuggets. So out of these teams I just named off, that's more of like the playoff picture. Who's in it? Are there any surprises to you? Disappointments so far? It's still early in the season, but any surprises for you?
It's still early. I would say the one surprise to me is probably, well, in the East, I want to say Cleveland being so competitive. And they're 2 wins away. I mean, again, early, 2 wins away from being 5th or 6th in the East right now. And this is without Colin Sexton for the most part. And Evan Mobley's been banged up.
Yeah.
So Cleveland, I like what they're doing. I mean, we've talked about it before, like with the big lineup that they had going. Jared Allen's gonna be Jared Allen day in and day out.
Yeah, he's been killing it.
Yeah,
he's been really good.
He's been good. So, I would say that. And then Atlanta being 10, they're playing good as of late, but they started out.
They started off really, really bad.
Couldn't guard. A couple games I watched, they weren't hitting shots. I mean, we've talked about this make or miss league. So once they get going. And then the surge from the Bucks in the East, they've won 7 straight, getting back to what they're getting healthy, which is
they're finally getting healthy.
We knew that. Yeah, now we knew that once they got healthy, they were going to be the Bucks. So
I would. My biggest surprise is the Wizards. I'm not gonna lie, the way they came out the gates, they've been coming a little bit back to life. I'm not gonna lie.
We've definitely come back to reality. For sure. We've lost some bad ones, but
overall, like, you guys are sitting at 4 in the East. Like, I didn't even have them in my plan. So
I know you did. I had them 10th. So I wasn't high on them. I thought they had the talent to be competitive and stuff like that, but I wouldn't to be 4th right now in the East through 21 games for them. I didn't expect that at all.
That's really good. And then, like you said, the Cavs too. I didn't think they'd be this competitive. That 3 big lineup is doing some damage.
Yeah.
Most nights they should be winning the rebound battle if you're playing 3 7-footers. Exactly. So it's gonna, like it takes the other coach, either you're gonna match up with us or you're gonna get taken advantage of the post rebound battles. So right now they've been doing good. Evan Mobley is one of the better rookies right now too.
Yeah.
So it's dope to see. In the West, do you have any surprising teams?
Yeah, like I said, the Warriors. I wouldn't expect them to be this good.
Yeah,
I thought they would be pretty good, top 4 seed, but not what they're doing now. Yeah. I expected the Suns to be good. I think I had them second or third, one of the two, second or third, and then the Lakers. I had them first, so that's a disappointment right there. And then obviously Minnesota. We got Minnesota tonight, the Wizards, so that should be a good game.
Yeah, that should be a fun game. I'm gonna have to tune into that one.
Yeah, that should be a good one. And I should have went to that game, matter of fact, but I had some stuff to do. So,
well, we're sitting here doing this, so
yeah.
But my biggest surprise is the T-Wolves right now. Recently they won 7 out of 10. Their big three is playing great. Anthony Edwards averaging 22, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. His playmaking could get a little better, but he's still young, so it's all good.
Yeah.
You got Karl Anthony Towns averaging 23.5, 9, and 3, and he's shooting 44% from 3 right now, which is for a big man. That's tough. I think he may be the best big man shooter in the league, right?
Not according to the stats. You know who's number 1 right now?
Like Bertans.
Jonas Valanciunas.
Yeah.
What he's doing right now is
yo. Who would have thought? 7 for 7, bro.
Not me.
Bro. If I'm watching a game and Valanciunas hits 7 threes, bro, I may have to turn that joint off because it don't even seem real.
Yeah, I think I told you. I watched the first half.
Yeah.
It was nothing really other games that were interesting. I'm like, let me watch the Pelicans. Pelicans and Clippers. And he hit the first one. Well, actually, I'm gonna say he hit his first 3 threes, and that's when Zubac was just like, I gotta step out here. Right. And then after the first 3, they were closing out like he was Steph Curry or something. And he is still cashing. I'm like, Jonas, really? But I mean, hey, he had 39 and 15. So
yeah, he was doing his thing.
Yeah, it was nice.
But with the Timberwolves, D'Lo also averaging 19, 3, and 6. So it's a good balance between all of them. And right now they're sitting, what is that, the 7th seed right now in the West. So they're playing good basketball. We saw a glimpse of it last year towards the end of the year, and they're finally putting it together more consistently. So that's cool to see. Low key, the Clippers sitting at the 6th seed right now. They got talent, but I didn't think they'd be winning at this rate. They're only 1 game over 500, but they're playing good basketball, competitive basketball. Ty Lue has them playing great defense, and this is all without Kawhi too, and Serge Ibaka for most of the year.
Yeah, he just got back.
So, like, Paul George's been balling out, Reggie Jackson been balling out, but they got a good little thing going. So definitely those 2 teams. The Warriors too, I definitely didn't have them being 18-3 after 21 games. So that's definitely impressive.
Yeah, now Ty Lue, man, he's one of the better coaches in the league. He's proven that with what I feel like one of those Clippers teams should have made it to the finals. With I think the year they lost, they blew the 3-1 lead to the Nuggets
in the bubble.
I had them getting to the finals that year, and then they blow a 3-1 lead. It's sort of reminiscent of Doc's time there, I don't want to talk about Doc too much because maybe people be on Doc, man, talking about he's not. I don't know. They say the Celtics saved him in '08 and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. They just need to get over the hump, man. Once they get Kawhi back, they need to do something. So
Yeah, they'll be, I think, really good once they get Kawhi back.
yeah, he was balling in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been interesting to see how things worked out if he didn't get injured, but hopefully we'll be able to get a glimpse of that this year in the playoffs if he comes back healthy.
Yeah.
We're talking about injuries. There's been some big injuries as of late. John Morant, he got hurt. He's about to be out like 2 to 4 weeks with a sprained knee. He's averaging 24, 5, and 7 right now. He's been balling out. I think he'll be an all-star this year.
Yeah, should be.
If he's been killing it. But right now they're sitting at the 5 seed. But I think they'll be all right for the time being.
Yeah.
They got Jaren Jackson Jr., who's a good young player. Dylan Brooks, who's a menace. And Desmond Bane, who has been balling out. He's not one of those big names, but he's just a guy who puts the ball in the basket. He'd be
consistent. He's averaging 16.
He's
40.
He's really good. He's really good. And he got all the confidence in the world too. The way he plays, he really be shooting the shit out of the ball. So
he's not far off a 50, 40, 90 season. He's shooting 47, 40, and 88 from the line. So
yeah. But it'll be interesting to see how that injury plays a part in where they go up and down in the standings.
Yeah.
I think they play hard for most nights, the Grizzlies. So it will be. I think they'll be all right. They'll be more of a collective, more than John Morant just going crazy.
Yeah, it's by committee. It's gonna be by committee. Jaren Jackson's averaging 15. Dylan Brooks averaging 18. So they can score.
Yeah, they definitely got the pieces to do it. And then Bam just got hurt too. I think they said like 4 to 8 weeks with his injury.
Yeah.
And that's a big loss for the Heat.
Yeah, that's a long time.
He's their main big man, obviously, their starter, MVP caliber player, averaging 18, 10, and 3, great defense. So what do you think happens with the Heat these next couple weeks?
I think they fall a little bit. I definitely do think they fall a little bit. With the standings right now, they lose one game, they're in 6th place.
Yeah.
And then with him being out 4 to 6 weeks, I saw on the injury report, Dwayne Dedmon is hurt too.
PJ Tucker got to go back to the 5, I guess.
Right. PJ Tucker's going to have to play the 5. And then I know Jimmy has a tailbone contusion. He should be back soon. So we'll see how Jimmy and Kyle Lowry do as the main 2 guys.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they'll figure it out. Eric Spoelstra is definitely one of the better coaches in the league, so I'm sure they'll figure it out. It'll be interesting to see if they're where they end by the time he gets back. Because it's important. I think their home court advantage is pretty big. I know the Heat got one of the better crowds in the league. So
when they show up,
yeah, they usually show up. Late.
Miami fans don't get there till halftime. So,
but so looking at the standings right now, so there's 11 teams over 500 in the East and 8 teams over 500 in the West. Yeah. So my question to you is, has the East finally caught up to the West?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel like the early 2000s, or not early 2000s, I should say, but the LeBron ran East, it was kind of all right, who's coming out of the West?
Yeah.
And of recently, the teams have just gotten better and better. This year, looking at it, I think as of right now, 3 teams in the East who could really compete for a championship: the Nets, Bucks, and Heat. when healthy.
Okay.
The Heat. I think they could compete for a championship. And in the West, I have kind of four low key.
Four? Who the four? Who's the four? Obviously,
Suns, Warriors, Jazz, and Lakers if they're
get right.
healthy. Yeah, if
Mhm.
they like get right. They were like the favorites coming in, so I expect them to get things rolling eventually.
Yeah. Well,
So
I'm gonna say Chicago is a contender.
I wanted to do that. I wanted to say that they are, but I want to see something like I want to see a full season and like them play in the playoffs, and then if they surprise me, like I'll be hyped. Like
I'm a believer now. I'm a believer now. They, that 10-game stretch we talked about, they played well during that.
Yeah.
They've had a couple bad losses, which everybody at this point has had.
Yeah.
But I think once it gets down to the playoffs, man, you need scores on your team, and you need somebody that's gonna go get a bucket. And
they got two guys who can go get an absolute bucket.
DeMar Levine can do that, and
even Vooch.
I was gonna say if Big Vooch can get going, he had a great game the other night. I forgot who they played, but he had
the Hornets. It was the Hornets.
The Hornets, right. When the Ball brothers matched up.
Yeah,
but
that was sick.
He went like 5 for 5 from 3. So if he can get going,
the shit out of the ball.
Yeah. I think they could do some damage. I can see him in the conference finals for sure. I can see him there.
Okay. I think a successful season for them is like making it to the second round.
Okay.
I think
they're gonna see either Brooklyn or Milwaukee.
Yeah.
If
they made the finals or the Eastern Conference Finals, that would be huge. Like I'd be hyped for them. But I think for them a successful season would be making it to the second round. That's what I think. But
like I said, I can see him getting to the conference finals. I can see it. I
don't know, bro. I don't know about that. They still got something to show me. They've been playing great basketball though. So
it's all about matchups too. We'll see.
Yeah, very true. I want to see how they match up against like some of the better teams in the East. We haven't. They played some. Obviously, that whole like 12-game stretch was crazy. But
we didn't even talk about Atlanta. Do you see them as a contender?
As of right now, no. I don't.
Coming into the season.
Yeah, coming into the season, I don't know about contender.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping just for them to keep building on last year's Eastern Conference Finals appearance.
Only way you can build on that is to get to the finals, right?
Yeah, but
it's the only way.
I don't know.
They may have peaked. They may have peaked too soon.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have them being Philly, so that was crazy. But they got to show me something. I was hoping for them to be a lot better this year, and they haven't been very great at all. So
I think Philly beat Philly last year. They just had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah,
Tobias not playing well. Ben Simmons, whatever he's going through. So yeah.
Nigga needs to pick up a jump shot.
He need to do something. I wonder what's going to happen from here on out.
With them, their whole situation. Yeah. I mean, you have to trade him. You just hope that you could get some kind of value back at least. Mm-hmm. Some kind of. If you get like 2 good players for him, I think you win that trade. Mm-hmm. Problem is with them is they want some like superstar or something like that. Yeah. And as of right now, Ben Simmons, his value is a little down at the moment. But we'll see. I hope they could move soon because I would like to see Philly compete. It's always dope seeing them when they're good. We've been seeing them so bad recently. Well, not recently, but with the whole process and stuff like that. So I'd like to see them good. But if you're ready, we can get into our top 5 teams right now.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right. So
you want to begin?
Yeah, so
let's go ahead.
Starting at 5, I got the Bucks.
Okay.
13-8. and they're finally getting healthy right now. So defending champions finally getting healthy. That's a good sign, and for them, and a bad sign for the rest of the league. So they've been playing great basketball recently. So yeah, where they're at right now, I think they're happy with where they're sitting in the standings too. So yeah, they got the Bucks.
At number 5 this may be a surprise to a lot of people. This may be a surprise to you, shock, whatever feelings you may feel. But I got Minnesota here at number 5. Now, this is not a top 5 teams list. It's just currently how you're playing, right?
Yeah.
So we talked about it, 11-10, 5 straight home wins, which is you got a whole home court. You know what I mean? So 5 straight home wins, 7-3 in their last 10. And then they got 2 big tests upcoming after they play us. Well, 3 big tests. They play us, and then.
Hey, bro, wait, hold on.
What?
I ain't gonna let you just slip that in there like that, bro.
That's a big test. You playing the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference. Come on now. Anyway, they go to Brooklyn after they play us. That'll be a tough game.
Damn, and then I have to go check out tickets.
And then they play Atlanta. So the next 3 are gonna be tough. So
yeah, those are some good games for them. That'll be a good test to see where they're at. All right, so number 4, I got the Bulls. I was debating between the Bulls and the Heat here, but I got the Bulls right now. The way Levine and DeMar and Big Vooch and even Lonzo has been perfect for them, and the rest of the role players. They've just been playing good basketball. Sitting at the 2 seed right now in the East. They're in a good spot, and I definitely didn't have them this high. It's still early, so but they've been playing good basketball, so I like them at number 4.
Definitely. Number 4, I got the defending champs here. I mean, you hit it on the head. They're getting healthy. They're becoming the Bucks of old, or the Bucks from last year, playing good. 7 straight wins. And they also got some tough games coming up. Well, they play Charlotte, who's been competitive, real competitive this year.
Yeah, no, they've been good.
And then they're at Toronto. You know, Toronto always has a great crowd. Canada, they love their basketball up there. And then they play Miami, so who's banged up. So we'll see how that goes. But I got Milwaukee here at 4.
Yeah. So right now at 3, I got the Nets. So that 15-6 right now on top of the East. They've been quietly winning. They, you got KD and James Harden. You're going to win a lot of games, and the role players been playing good basketball too. They've been struggling a little bit against over 500 opponents. They haven't had too many wins against those. So they're just right now. I don't even think they're playing their best basketball. So in a couple months, I think they're gonna be playing even better. But as of right now, I got them at number 3 in the league right now.
I got Brooklyn here at 3 too. And to your point of not playing good against teams over 500, their next 3 games are against teams over 500. So good test. We talked about Minnesota. They played Minnesota. They got Chicago, and then they go to Dallas. So we'll gauge that. Yeah, we'll gauge that. See how they do against them.
So, go ahead.
No. I was just saying. Then your number 2.
Number 2, I have the Warriors. 18-3. Suns beating them. I think you obviously got to put them ahead. The Suns are also on a 17-win streak, but the Warriors have been playing. Yeah, they both teams have been playing great though. Overall, the Warriors' offense, defense looked. Before yesterday, their offense looked freaking unstoppable. But overall, they've been playing great basketball, and they're not even fully healthy. So that's the scary part. So sitting at 18-3 right now, I got them as the second best team in the league as of right now.
Yeah. Hey, you said it. You said it all. I think they should win their next 3. At home against Phoenix, no D-Book. I don't expect Curry to shoot 4 for 21. So he gets going. I think they win that, and then they play San Antonio and Orlando, both in San Francisco. So I don't see them losing any of those games.
Yeah. So obviously number one, I already kind of spoiled it earlier, but the Suns,
we know what it is.
18-3 right now, right in
Yeah.
the 17 game winning streak. It's they're just playing absolutely great basketball. No D-Book for these next couple weeks, or like maybe 2 weeks, a week and a half. I'm not a sports scientist or nothing, so I don't really know how serious it is, but that's what I would expect. So they've been playing great basketball, best team in the league right now, and they proved it last night. But we'll see. We'll see Friday though. We'll see.
Yeah, you said it all, man. I wish they were healthy. See how long this win streak could actually go. But I don't see them beating the Warriors without D-Book. So they got Detroit. They should win that. Then they're at Golden State. Then they play San Antonio. So 18-3, 17 straight wins, man. That's crazy. Crazy.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's a good list.
Yep. Top 5 of the week, baby. And that's a wrap for this week's episode of the Two Man Game Podcast. You know who I am. I'm Dante. You know who my co-host is. That's KC. Hope you guys enjoyed our talk, man. If you have any discrepancies, whatever you want us to talk about, you have any comments, let us know. We read them all. You got us on Instagram, Two Man Game Podcast. Hit us up, man. Let us know. We out.
If you got something to say.